It's Christmas time, and I'm here today at Malvern Theatres, where I'll be talking all things pantomime with Malvern's favourite funny man, Mark James. See you inside.
So Mark, it's lovely to finally meet you after many years watching you in the pantomimes here at Malvern.
Yep.
And obviously we get to have a natter about all things pantomime.
Great.
Okay, so you're about to open Sleeping Beauty at the Festival Theatre here at Malvern Theatres. You're on from December 12th to January 5th.
That's right.
And you're just in the middle of rehearsals.
Literally second day in, yeah.
How's it all been going?
Really good. So day one is the meet and greet day. We have a little coffee, have a catch up, meet new friends, old friends, people we've worked with many times before, like our fantastic musical director Tom Self and our choreographer Cameron. So I get to see them and say hello again to them. Obviously we've got lots of new cast members as well. And then after that we literally go straight into it. We don't even do a read through. We just chucked in at the deep end. Yesterday morning we spent it all doing the music, so we went through all the songs, the finale, the walk down, everyone's individual song, and then in the afternoon we did what they call blocking. So we went through from the start of the show right through to the end, blocked every scene, worked out which side you're coming on from, stage left, stage right, where you need to be, if there's any props for that scene, if we've got them, if we can use them. So yeah, it was a long day yesterday, but a good day as well.
Well, it's all exciting, new year, new family, perhaps, new people.
Yeah, always a new family. Panto for me it's all about the family. We're a little family for 5-6 weeks, and so I'm also like the social sex. So I try and get all the little events that we do. So like we go out for a company meal and we go out and do little things together. So yeah, it is a good family commitment.
Oh, that's lovely. So, who are you playing in Sleeping Beauty?
So this year I'm playing Chester the Jester, and I'm basically the court jester for the king. Try and make people laugh, hopefully.
Okay, so that's really interesting because I've never heard that character name before. Actually, it's normally somebody like Muddles or whatever. That's a really cool
Muddles
name.
or Jangles. You've had Jangles.
Yeah.
I think originally it was Lester the Jester, and I said, could we change it to Chester, because it works for a couple of gags that I've got in the show, which when you come and watch it you'll understand why.
We won't give them away today.
No, we won't give them away
today. So obviously I've grown up watching the Malvern pantomime, and I come every year. Always enjoy it, and obviously I've seen you come back by popular demand, a little bit like Matt Slack in Birmingham.
Yeah. Danny Adams up at Newcastle, a very good friend of mine.
So like it's becoming a bit of a thing where you come back by popular demand.
I think a lot of the panto companies in general, the key is now, I think, and it works so well, is if you can keep one person that's a resident, whether it's a dame or the comic or someone that is everyone's familiar with, it just helps soften that. You don't have to fight for that audience reaction as much, because everyone already knows someone. Right? So it's sort of like being that family member, like the familiarity of knowing someone.
Yeah, you want to find the comfort in familiarity, and especially with like many kids, it's their first time coming to a theatre, for panto. So how many years have you been playing at Malvern?
I had this in my head this morning. 7 years. This is my 7th year. It technically would have been my 8th, but we had a year out for the COVID. But yeah, this is my 7th year at the fantastic, wonderful Festival Theatre.
Oh, fantastic. So, when I came last year to see you, you've been obviously coming back by popular demand, and you came on stage.
Yeah.
And you hadn't even said anything yet. You hadn't done anything, and the audience was just cheering. How does that admiration feel for you on stage?
Honestly, I didn't expect it. I thought it'd get the reaction from the Barbie box in Cinderella. I thought, it'll get something. It'll get a titter. It'll get a laugh. But even the producers didn't expect that much of a wow factor from the audience. And I was absolutely beaming, because just when you know everyone's on your side, you can relax more. You don't feel like you're having to fight a battle to win the affection or that love for the comic. And it was just bonkers. And that's another reason why having that one person or two people that are backed by popular demand, it works so well, because literally that admiration at the start of the show just shows you what people feel about it.
Well, I mean, people have, obviously, it's one thing buying tickets, to see the pantomime, but some people have bought tickets specifically to see you, and I suppose there's a responsibility there for you to make sure that you give them that performance that they really, really are, wanting to get.
One of the hardest things I find is, obviously, when I go out and do my meet and greet and say thank you to everyone and have photos, is everyone says, oh, we've been coming for 10 years, and they have the photos, and I see the kids growing up, and from when they were 5, 6, 7 and 8, and they're all growing up. And the one thing that I always think, they always say, we've been coming for 10 years and every year it gets bigger and better, and this one's definitely the best show. And I always say, it's all downhill from now on, because I think at one point we're going to hit that pinnacle where you go, how do you just do any better than that? And it will. I don't know if we've ever reached it, but I mean, as long as we keep rising the challenge and bringing new things and new routines. Of this year there's some new stuff that, again, every year I always try and put stuff in that no one will have ever seen at Malvern, especially with me as well. So I try and keep it fresh, and there's a lot of references that the kids will get, but the adults won't. Like the way the kids talk these days.
Yeah, I'm sure vice versa as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that is the nature of pantomime. You've sort of answered my question on where we can expect to see without giving too much away.
There's loads going on. There's obviously lots of comedy, or hopefully lots of comedy, loads of songs, loads of great songs, pop songs, musicals, stuff there that everyone will know. So it doesn't matter if you're 4, 40 or 104. There is something there for everyone. It ticks literally every box for everyone. There'll always be a moment that someone goes, that was the funniest thing I've seen. Ghost routines in there. I know a lot of people will be asking about that. People are saying, is there going to be water? Well, just come along and find out.
Well, that's another thing I was just going to say is, what is it, do you think, about pantomime? It just makes it so timeless. You see that ghost on the bench routine, and a lot of adults will have enjoyed it as a kid, but they still enjoy it now because they're watching their kids see it for the very first time. It makes it all fresh and new again, doesn't it?
Yeah, the ghost routine, we do it every year, time in, time out, and it's the same routine, but that's what people like, because as soon as they see that bench, everyone goes, I know where we're going on this. And then the kids get excited because they know that something's going to come on stage, whether it's a ghost, a goblin, or a zombie. There'll be something there that the kids can go, it's behind you. And I feel like if we don't do that, sometimes the audience feel like they're missing something. The show's missing something, and they always want that familiarity again.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's just one of those things that everyone's got their favourite routine, and these could be routines that have been used time and time again, or you could take them and alter them slightly.
12 Days of Christmas is a classic. Every panto does the 12 Days of Christmas at some point, and now it's people are still doing the 12 Days of Christmas, but all they do is they put it to a different song. It's exactly the same routine with 12 items, but it's not the 12 Days of Christmas, but it is the 12 Days of Christmas routine. And that's the thing, it's trying to do routines that everyone likes, but there's a slight variation, and that's what I think separates us from different panto companies, is that everyone has slightly variations of the ghost routine, or a slosh routine, or the baking scene, and there's always differences.
Well, I mentioned growing up, I went to see the Malvern pantomime every year, but I was also very lucky because on my last day of the school holidays, when we broke up, we'd always go to see a pantomime, and I wasn't seeing the Malvern one twice. I was actually going to a pro-am-dram production. Right. But as a kid, to me, a pantomime was a pantomime. I saw those routines, and it didn't really occur to me that I was watching a show with a different budget and different limitations and what have you. It's really, really good to see all that. And obviously, for you personally, how did you get started in pantomime? Did you have to work your way through the ranks? Were you an overnight success?
I wouldn't say overnight success, but so I started when I was 18 as a Haven mate for the Haven holidays. And I've always been back home. I do magic is my main thing. I'm a magician by trade, and I started out when I was about 10 doing little magic shows for friends' birthday parties as Magic Mark. And then when I was 18, I went to Haven as a Haven mate, did a few years there. And then in 2005, I was doing a summer tour for Kudos, summer pantos for the Haven. And I was playing Buttons in Cinderella. It was like an hour show, no interval, straight through, basically the whole story of Cinderella condensed into an hour.
Right.
And UK Productions, who I work for, were looking for a comic for the Theatre Royal in Bath. And in those days, I literally sent a VHS. If you don't know what that is, Google VHS. It's a cassette thing. Okay, none of this digital, no email. Literally recorded on a camera, on a really old camcorder as well. Transferred it onto VHS. Sent that in the post. They watched it. Literally phoned me up and said, "We love what you do. would like to be our comic at Bath. So I then did Bath, and then I stayed with them for a few years, did a few years with Hiss and Boo, and then I've been with UK Productions since 2012 again. Next year will be my 20th year in the business as a pro panto performer. But I think if I wasn't doing that summer panto, I don't know if I would have been in panto or I would be here right now. So I'm so grateful for the people at Kudos who give me my little sort of my big break in the way of the world.
Do you like coming back? Is it like a second home, a Christmas home?
The one thing people say is they always say to me, so whereabouts is it that you live in Malvern? I said, I don't live in Malvern. I live in Lancashire. And they were like, but it says you're Malvern's favourite funny one. I was like, well, that's what everyone said. I said, but I don't literally live here. It's great to be here. It's just nice to see even the theatre. It is a very family-connected theatre. Everyone feels like, although they're not connected blood relations, we do feel like we're all one big family, and it's great to just come back and join in that magical moment that is panto.
Yeah, and obviously you are a magician, so I'm sure we'll see some magic.
Yeah, there's a couple of magic moments. I'm not doing any pure magic. I won't give too much away, but there are magical moments in the stuff that I put in that make it magic. This year I'm an inventor as well, so you get to see some of my new inventions, which is a first here from Malvern as well.
So yeah, again, like you said before, you're changing things up a little bit, but staying traditional. So do you think panto is changing over the years, or do you think it's staying traditional?
It's staying traditional. There's always challenges. We're a changing society, a changing world and culture. I know there's always been talks about whether we should be calling people boys and girls and he, they, them, their. And I just think, do you know what? Panto is just a pure form of escapism. It's 2.5 hours with an interval. 2.5 hours or 2 hours of pure escapism. So if you've had a bad day at work or at home, or, the way of the world, it's been raining all day, get yourself into a panto and you can just go, close that door, leave my worries outside and just enjoy the magic.
It's fantastic. It is really great fun. I've done pantomimes myself, and they're always great fun to be a part of. And so for you, having been in so many pantomimes galore over the years, is there a favourite role in panto that you've not played, or would you even like to direct, perhaps?
I'd like
you seem
to
to
direct,
live and breathe it.
I obviously I always have an input in the script, so there's always like additional material by myself. I don't know whether I would like to write one, direct it, and be in it, and be like the three main things of it. So a writer, a director, and a comic. I think that would be a tough call. I'd like to direct. I think that would be great, but I would also like to have a second director, because obviously when you're in a scene, you can't see what other people see. So that's the hard thing. But I think I'm quite happy playing comic. Some people say they think I'd be a Great Dane when I get to that age, but I'm hoping that I can play comic for quite a few more years, because I think I look young on stage, even though I'm 45 now, but on stage some people say, I can't believe it, you look like you're like 15 or 16 with the hat and the makeup and everything.
Well, it's your forte.
It is, yeah. And the squeaky voice. Where's me mate?
Absolutely. Here we are. Yes, I've been to see him. I know the routine. So obviously, how can people get tickets to come and watch you in this fantastic...
So there's a couple of ways. You can phone up box office. I'll get it in the teeth in. Box office. We'll put a link in the description, I'm sure, of all the information. Box office, you can phone them up. You can visit us at Malvern Theatres in Malvern, or you can go to the website, which is, I think, www.malvern-theatres.co.uk, and there's a section there for panto. It gives you all the dates. We're from the 12th of December to the 5th of January 2025.
Very long run for you to get a chance to come and watch.
Long run. But do be quick, because I know we're at about 86% at the moment. It's sold really well this year, which we do every year, and it's that's another thing that I love, is how well we're supported by just the people of Malvern and surrounding areas. The love they've got for this theatre, not just for panto, but for the whole thing that Malvern Theatres presents and tries to give to the community.
Well, I've got my ticket. I'll be coming to watch it.
Brilliant.
Mark, thank you so much for your time.
Welcome. Thank
and
you
I
very
wish you luck with the best of your
Thank
rehearsals.
You very much. Take care.